welcome to Mid-South Wrestling Television Network. I'm your host, Boyd Pierce, and we have a lot of exciting action. We promised you last week, we're showing it to you this week, the North American Heavyweight title match between Magnum TA and Killer Khan. Also, tag team action sees the popular duo of Mr. Wrestling and Indian Jay Youngblood as they take on the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, directed by manager Jim Cornette. The Midnight Express, Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton. In between, we'll have a lot more matches and a lot of exciting interviews and things to look forward to. And the man that can tell you about them best is Jim Ross.
Well, Boyd, thanks very much. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we've said that Magnum TA is a great fighting North American champion, and that was evidenced very clearly on May the 27th in Oklahoma City at the beautiful Myriad Center. A great wrestling crowd was on hand when Magnum TA defended that coveted North American title against the giant 300-pound-plus Killer Khan, the man that broke Andre the Giant's leg. Killer Khan going for that championship. Cowboy Bill Watts has narrated the edited highlights of this match. The crowd noise was deafening, a tremendous crowd in the Myriad. Let's go now to May 27th, Oklahoma City, and Cowboy Bill Watts in a great match between Magnum TA and Killer Khan.
New North American champion, Magnum TA. Look at the reception he gets. The fans love it. This is the beautiful Myriad Center in Oklahoma City. Fast becoming one of the hot spots of professional wrestling. All of the Superdome and all the exciting bouts there. And of course, Fort Sam Houston Coliseum in Houston, Texas. Now the Myriad Center. Killer Khan, the awesome Mongolian, against Magnum TA in a test as Khan makes a quest for the North American title. But TA's learned that intensity from Mr. Wrestling. You can thank all the hard work that he went through, Mr. Wrestling, because if Khan puts him in a side headlock, TA's punishing him. He's learned to punish and to stay after his men because he's against bigger guys oftentimes. Magnum TA about 225 pounds, Killer Khan about 295. TA has got to make the most use of every moment and every move that he makes. You see Killer Khan, you see that's the same type of lack of intensity that TA used to not have. That when he had his man in trouble, he didn't follow up on that move and put him away. Toe-to-toe. TA's got to learn to quit going toe-to-toe with these guys that much bigger than he is. And he just sometimes, TA just seems like he explodes inside and says, all right, brother, if that's the way you want it, that's the way it's going to be, man-to-man, one-on-one. But TA's got to learn to use his psychology, to use his mind, to use his quickness, and don't go head-on against these guys the size of Killer Khan. You just can't slay it out with a super heavyweight. They got too much size and weight and strength. TA's greatest assets are his speed and agility. Great heart. Killer Khan is just badly lacerated by TA. TA's in a world of trouble right now. Go down the annals as a great North American champion. Killer Khan, this is disgusting. Referee trying to make the break. Got 4 seconds to break. TA's really trying to pull it out, but again, you see how this momentum is switched. Khan going for the pin, reaching back to cheat off the ropes, but TA still got out before he got that foot lock because Carl Fergie was out of position. And Khan may have stole the victory right there. Here's Killer Khan making a bad mistake with this young champion of not pressing that attack. TA, get out of that corner, TA, get out of that corner. Killer Khan, arrogant, powerful, methodical, drives that vicious chop in. Magnum TA is paying the price. He's finding out what it is to walk in the shoes of a North American champion. The fans are exhorting him to get up. Please get up. They're behind him 100%. This likable young man who's paid the price. He's come all the way up. Tasted the victory of being a champion. Then had it taken away from him. Also tasted the victory of being the tag team champion. And Magnum TA, this youngster's grown. He's learned every lesson. He's learned them hard. But you cannot take one thing away from him, is the desire, the fight, the heart of Magnum TA. And here you see him taking it to Killer Khan. Killer Khan may regret at this point the opportunities he lost earlier in this long, grueling match. He might have held TA down to the mat for that 3 count. TA's got a head scissor on him. TA stopped that move. I've never seen that done before. That's something new. The young man stopped that move as Khan was going to go up with a backbreaker. TA clamped a head scissor on him. Fantastic move. Belly to belly. Belly to belly. 1, 2, 3. He got him. That one move threw Killer Khan completely off track. That unorthodox move. The young champion TA retains his North American title.
TA victorious in a tremendous title defense. Great narration by Cowboy Bill Watts. You could hear that tremendous crowd noise and a great crowd on hand at Oklahoma City's Myriad Center. You know, we've received more phone calls on that great special we saw here last week on Magnum TA than we have received on anything we've ever done, Boyd, here on Mid-South Wrestling as far as specials are concerned. Frank Sinatra sings it My Way, and Magnum TA shows you how he does it. Let's see that now.
Try to trust in your friends one at a time. It's the best thing to do. If you lean on a buddy, it's twice as good for you. Try to trust in your friends one at a time. Look them right in the eye. It's just a favor, just what friends should do. $1 here, $1 there, small change in my view. Drinks for me and drinks for you. Just a little something that will see me through. Try to trust in your friends one at a time. It's the best thing to do. If you lean on a buddy, it's twice as good for you. For you. For you.
Well, if you viewed the tremendous North American heavyweight title match between Magnum TA and Big Killer Khan, and then we viewed the sensational special of Magnum TA, just a tremendous athlete and a North American heavyweight title holder. Now we have more exciting action coming up. We hope you'll join it and look at it with us when we return right after this word.
This bout is 1 fall or 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, weighing 239 pounds from Las Vegas, Nevada, Barry Orton. In the blue corner, weighing 232 pounds from Vero Beach, Florida, Terry Taylor.
And there you can tell by the accolades of the crowd here at Irish McNeil Boys Club, and Terry Taylor, a very popular star, introduced, and his opponent, Barry Orton, a second-generation grappler whose father, the famous Big O, and the brother of Cowboy Bob Orton. Jim?
Well, Terry Taylor and Barry Orton squaring off here in our first live match here on Mid-South Wrestling. And Terry Taylor has come through the Mid-South area like a hurricane or a tornado, depending on which part of the Mid-South area you're watching us from, and has really taken the hearts and the minds of the Mid-South Wrestling fans. A young man, I don't think, boy, that I've ever seen anyone with the fighting heart that Terry Taylor does possess. We've seen him hurt near the end of his career at one point in time against Hacksaw Butch Reed. We have seen him in some tremendous battles, and he is really a young man that I think a great deal of. He has really got a lot of athletic ability, and I think we're just beginning to hear a lot from Terry Taylor. He's really a star in the future.
Well, the agility and ability along with that line-hearted that you was talking about is going to carry him all the way to the top. I really believe it.
Well, Boyd, you know, the crowd can be an influencing factor in many sporting events. We know that in basketball they call it the sixth man and so forth and so on, and the football and playing in home stadiums. Well, Terry Taylor really gets up when the people are behind him. The more noise they make, the better he likes it. And I know that that deafening noise in many of the large arenas around the country is not good news for Taylor's opponents. And speaking of opponents, he has got a tough man. Barry Orton, a young man that does have a lot of ability. You heard Boyd say about his heritage. Comes from a real wrestling family. Taylor that wrist lock and taking Orton over. The referee in this match is Carl Fergie. Always does an outstanding job. Taylor is a tremendous offensive wrestler, a man with tremendous resiliency. He really bounces back from what would appear to be the brink of defeat. He's in great condition, but that hard is just something else. Terry Taylor brings Mr. Orton out of that corner rather rudely and goes right back to the arm bar. Orton and Taylor trading positions and advantages. Orton with a cheap shot. Referee Carl Fergie was coming through the men as he should. Good officiating, but Orton with a cheap shot there on Terry Taylor caught Terry unaware. And Orton, it's very evident that Orton knows he can't out-wrestle Taylor, or has not until this point. And he has taken a few shortcuts. Throwing the rule book aside is Barry Orton. Terry Taylor in great demand all over this country. Is in a disadvantage now against Barry Orton. Side salto suplex. Orton on for the body press and the cover. And referee Carl Fergie counts 2. Orton with another fist. Taylor comes back with a right of his own, and Orton staggered. Orton with that forearm. Taylor connects. He came from left field on that one and connected right to the jaw of Barry Orton. Taylor dropping those fists right on Orton. He's fighting fire with fire. Taylor taking over and dominating Barry Orton. Taylor with a forearm. That should be all for Barry Orton.
And it is, Jim, as Terry Taylor racks up another win to go with his long streak of victories. And we'll be back when action continues after this message.
This bout is a one fall or 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, weighing 303 pounds from Minnesota, is Crusher Khrushchev. In the blue corner, weighing 220 pounds from Huntsville, Alabama, Buddy West.
Newcomer Buddy West from Huntsville, Alabama being introduced.
Hey, I'm sick and tired of this, and I want you people to shut up and listen to this. I don't get any respect from anybody around here. And Mid-South is doing it to me again. Dr. Dummy Death Williams, I know you're somewhere in this auditorium somewhere, and I want my medal. If you had any guts, which I know you don't, because most American athletes don't, you would come down here right now and give me my medal, because I want it fair and square, and it's mine, and I'm gonna get it somehow, because Mid-South ain't doing it to me again here. I'm gonna take it over, I'm gonna get it myself.
And now we might continue with the introduction. We said Buddy West, a newcomer, but there's not a newcomer. He's been here before, and we have seen him, and we don't like what we have seen. Crusher Khrushchev.
Well, his statement was loud and clear, Boyd. He wants Dr. Death to give him that medal back, and I tell you, it's very obvious. He wants to make very short work of Buddy West. He wants to make very short work of Buddy West and get Dr. Death in there. Well, I'll tell you something. You don't have to look very far to find Dr. Death. He's a 4-time college wrestling All-American, a football starter on a great Oklahoma University football team. He's been down the trenches with the best of them. He's a man that dominated collegiate wrestling in the heavyweight division for 4 years. And so if Khrushchev's looking, I think he's going to find him without any problem. The big problem is going to be getting that medal back. And we talk about big problems. So Buddy West has got a big 303-pound problem right now. Khrushchev has got that front face lock, and I'll guarantee you, young Mr. Buddy West, the upper portion of his body is changing color from the tremendous pressure by the awesomely strong Crusher Khrushchev, or Darso, whatever you want to call him.
Khrushchev had a chance for the victory, but he dealt to go ahead and adhere more punishment to young Buddy West.
Well, this has really been no contest from the start. Buddy West outmanned, outstrength, out everything, and it's just like, and this is going to be all. This is all she wrote. Crusher Khrushchev the winner. Crusher Khrushchev is the winner, ladies and gentlemen. And wait just a second. Let's keep the cameras right here.
Jim Ross, she brought my medal back here yet?
Your medal is not at our table. We don't have your Dr. Death. If you're looking for Dr. Death Steve Williams, I suggest you turn around. There's Dr. Death Steve Williams. You don't have to look very far to find Dr. Death, Khrushchev. Dr. Death has hung that medal on the far ring post. Dr. Death's telling him, if you want it, come get it. Dr. Death's attacking Khrushchev. He's 295 pounds, and ladies and gentlemen, he is bad. Khrushchev, if you want that TV medal, you can see it hanging there. Dr. Death says, come and get it. Dr. Death Steve Williams is physically manhandling the awesomely strong Crusher Khrushchev. High elevation. If Khrushchev wants the medal.
There's no doubt, Jim, that he'll have to go through a roundabout or over or under Dr. Death Steve Williams to get that medal.
Well, I'll tell you what, he better bring a sack lunch if he plans to go through him, because he's going to be there a while. Dr. Death Steve Williams. Dr. Death Steve Williams is taking care of Khrushchev. He's keeping him from that medal. Dr. Death's fired up. I don't think the Russian sympathizer wants him as badly as he said that he did. We're going to keep our cameras right here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a Pier 6. Khrushchev wants the medal. Dr. Death taking over on Khrushchev. How bad do you want it? Khrushchev going for the eyes. Khrushchev's going for the eyes. He's trying to blind Dr. Death. He just wants him out of the way momentarily. He wants the medal. Dr. Death, that's a defensive lineman's maneuver. That clothesline put Khrushchev down, and now he's got him up with that body slam. Khrushchev and Dr. Death going at it. Khrushchev and Dr. Death are going at it. Khrushchev's leaving. He's leaving, boys.
And Dr. Death in the ring. The medal is still on the post, and as things kind of simmer down, we'll be back after this word from Mid-South Wrestling.
This bout is one fall or 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, weighing 245 pounds from Decatur, Georgia, Pete Martin. In the blue corner, weighing 251 pounds from McCall, Louisiana, Sonny King.
Another newcomer to Mid-South in the form of Pete Martin from Decatur, Georgia, takes on McCall, Louisiana's pride and joy, Sonny King. Carl Fergie, the referee, calls for the bell.
Well, Sonny King has been doing some serious walking tall here in Mid-South in the last few weeks. A man very proud of his heritage, comes from McCall, Louisiana. And this is his home territory, so to speak, the Mid-South area. Last week we saw Nature Boy Buddy Landell try to get involved in some more of Sonny King's business, but when it came right down to the nitty-gritty, Landell wanted no part of Sonny King. Landell, the shadow of Hacksaw Butch Reed, did not want to step in the ring with the big man from McCall, Louisiana. High elevation, and King, he almost took him to the rafters. Pete Martin was up in the lights. Sonny King planted that big size 16 deep into the stomach of Pete Martin, and Martin might be known now, or King rather, the King of Pain, because he's dishing it out on Pete Martin. I've talked to Sonny King at length about his professional boxing career. Had a tremendous right hand, packs a tremendous knockout punch, and has one of the most devastating headbutts in all of wrestling. Sonny King, a man that says he asks no quarter, certainly will not give one. Backs away from no one. King has been in the ring with the toughest that there is, and Pete Martin trying to use some unruly maneuvers. Martin, powerful scoop slam, and Sonny King goes right down to the canvas. Martin going up the second rope. Martin and King caught him coming off the ropes. I think King caught him with a lightning quick right hand as Martin came right down to the canvas. Martin is in bad trouble. Flying headbutt. King nailed him. He nailed him. He's planted.
Line 3/4 across the ring. Sonny King downs Pete Martin for the victory. We'll be back after this word from Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.
This bout is a one-fall, 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, weighing 230 pounds, from Los Angeles, California, Nature Boy Buddy Landell. In the blue corner, weighing 228 pounds, from Buffalo, New York, Mark Ragin.
Mark Ragin and Nature Boy Buddy Landell, two outstanding young grapplers on their way up. Both of them fine grapplers, but they both go about it in a different way, Jim Ross. They both use entirely opposite tactics.
Well, Landell didn't waste any time breaking the rules. And young Mark Ragin, you know, just a few weeks ago here, ladies and gentlemen, these two men met. Referee Ronnie West is having a long heart-to-heart talk with Nature Boy Buddy Landell. Ronnie West, a fine third man in the ring. Just a few weeks ago, Ragin and Landell met. You know, Landell, I get aggravated just watching him here, Boyd. He's just so arrogant, so cocky. But when they met here a couple of weeks ago, the match ended in a disqualification. And Nature Boy Buddy Landell tried to end Mark Ragin's career by slamming him on that concrete. He wanted to put him away. Of course, Sonny King got involved. You know the story from there. And then last week, Landell wanted no part of King, even though he brought a couple of hired hands to the ring to put him away. So Mark Ragin's requested this match. Gridley Smith has signed it. And Ragin for a high, and I mean a high drop kick. Landell, using his ring savvy, he held on to that top rope, and Ragin is in trouble. You know, I can't remember too many top contenders that Landell has beat. He has been in on some very devious and some very sickening episodes with his mentor, Hacksaw Butch Reed. We're referred to Landell as being Reed's shadow from time to time. But he's got a young Mark Ragin, and that's it. Wait, nope, 2 count.
That's the 2, almost.
I thought that was it, boy. I thought he had him put away. Landell not wasting any time. I thought he was going for the pin. Ragin, he escaped just in the nick of time. Landell, he's arrogant. He's cocky. But ladies and gentlemen, he has got a little mean streak in him. And one of these days, someone's going to take the measure of that mean streak. Look at him. Blatantly pull the hair. Blatant infraction of the rules. Landell, as the old saying goes, at some point in time, his mouth will overload his posterior. Landell with a high elbow, and that's it. 1, 2, and 3. Landell the winner.
The Nature Boy gains a victory. We'll be back. Hacksaw Jim Duggan in action after this word from Mid-South.
This bout is a 1 fall or a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, weighing 242 pounds, from Knoxville, Tennessee, Pat Rose. In the blue corner, weighing 280 pounds, from New York City, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Pat Rose in the blue tights against a man who needs no introduction to Mid-South wrestling fans, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the foot-stomping top star from New York State. Referee Fergie called for the bell, and Jim Ross is ready.
Well, boy, I tell you what, I'm ready, and I know all the fans are. No one has to guess if Hacksaw Jim Duggan's ready. He's ready when I think he stays ready. I think he is as Bill Watts says, a fight about to happen while he's asleep. Quite a character, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, 280 pounds in great condition going against Pat Rose. High hip toss. You know, the great thing about Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I think, is his unpredictability. You know, it's quite obvious. He can wrestle with the best of them. He's a former state champion from New York, a great athlete, All-American football player at SMU, played in Canada, played for the Atlanta Falcons. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan, whoop, and right there. He can wrestle if he needs to, or if he wants to, or he can throw those right hands just like Pat Rose found out there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he's training, he's getting bigger, he's getting stronger, and I tell you, he may be getting just a little bit crazier. Look at there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan right back on his feet, and he's pounding away at Pat Rose. Referee Carl Fergie. And Duggan, man, he laid that shoulder right into the steel corner post. He went for that football tackle to drive that shoulder through Rose. Rose moved, and the whole ring shook. He may have knocked that shoulder down. Hacksaw Jim Duggan may have knocked that shoulder down, and Rose is seizing the moment. Rose is seizing the moment, and he's taking it to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Duggan with that kick, and right back up. We've talked about people being resilient. Tell you what, he has taken some awesome poundings and some unbelievable matches. And he comes back for more, and he's right back clothesline. He clothesline Rose from the nickel seats. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he tried to drive him right through the mat. Rose tried him. He's trying him. He's on that second rope, perched up there. Look at him. Then there's a spear. He nailed him. Pat Rose was nailed nailed to the canvas, and 1, 2, and 3.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan used all the facilities at his disposal, using all parts of his body. Results in the victory. We'll be back. Our tremendous tag team match coming up after this word.
This bout is 1 fall or TV time remaining. In the blue corner, weighing 239 pounds from Atlanta, Mr. Wrestling. Weighing 229 pounds from Amarillo, Texas, Jay Youngblood.
Why don't you just back up and go do your homework somewhere? Ladies and gentlemen, even though you don't deserve the honor to see the Mid-South Tag Team Champions in action, you're going to right now. Lean, mean, slick, and quick. The devastating combination of Loverboy Dennis and Beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express.
Across the ring, Hopper Indian star Jay Youngblood and his partner, Mr. Wrestling, high in the air and dropping his arm, is referee Ron West, and the battle is on as he says, let me have one man from a team. Jay Youngblood is in the ring, and also Bobby Eaton, and outside with his tennis racket, the arrogant, conceited manager, Jim Cornette. And here's Jim Ross.
Well, boy, this match has some fascinating potentiality from the standpoint of outstanding competition for the Midnight Express. The reigning Mid-South Tag Team Champions, an awesome team, perhaps one of the greatest teams of all time, and at this point in time, as good a team as there is in the country. Going against Jay Youngblood and Mr. Wrestling 2. Now, Jay Youngblood is the former co-holder of the World Tag Team titles with Rick Steamboat. He is well versed in tag team wrestling. Mr. Wrestling 2 has been in many tag team encounters, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wrestling suffered at the hands of the Midnight Express. Cornette with those belts and the Midnight Express, they inflicted a great deal of pain and unbelievable humiliation when Magnum TA and Mr. Wrestling were partners. So now we'll see how Mr. Wrestling and Jay Youngblood operate together against a simply devastating tag team combination. Cornette as vocal as ever. High leapfrog and a double tomahawk chop. Youngblood with a double tomahawk chop that nearly took Eaton's head off. Cornette is a little more than concerned. Cornette has been the deciding factor in so many of the matches between the Midnight Express and their opponents. He is quite a strategist. He keeps his team together and functioning as a unit. And that chop was a legal maneuver. Of course, Cornette wouldn't know a whole lot about legal maneuvers. Dennis Condrey is really upset and telling it to this packed house at our Irish McNeil Boys Club. You know, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have girl wrestlers here. And we'll also be able to show you some video footage of the winners of the Super Date in the Superdome. Mr. Wrestling 2 introduced that right hand to Loverboy Dennis. Wrestling 2 with some old wounds that need to be healed. And Condrey He's in the wrong area. Condrey was on very, very unfriendly ground. Well, I must say, Boyd, that Youngblood and Wrestling, Mr. Wrestling, are working very well together.
Tremendous teamwork thus far, and the Midnight Express could really be in trouble. There's a yank of the hair, of course, and that brings him down, but quickly Jay Youngblood comes back.
Youngblood tagging in and out. You know, we've said the mark of a good tag team is how often and how timely they tag in and out, and Youngblood and Wrestling have done that very, very well thus far in this match.
And once again, Dennis Condrey found himself in the wrong corner.
Well, Dennis Condrey has really suffered. Wait, whoa. Youngblood, he accidentally hit Wrestling, and Wrestling slapped him. That was an accident on Youngblood's part. Youngblood accidentally, and Wrestling slapped him in the face. Youngblood said, I'm not taking any of that stuff. I'm not going to take any of that, and Youngblood's leaving. He says, if you want to run the show, well, you got it. You're not going to slap me and get away with it, so Wrestling is in there now. He is an island unto himself against the Midnight Express. Well, he got him that $1 million knee lift. Mr. Wrestling, he slapped Youngblood right in the face, and Youngblood's blow to him, that was a 100% accident. Mr. Wrestling, well, I'll tell you what, you've got to hand it to him. He's more than holding his own. Mr. Wrestling, a man of tremendous experience. He knows every trick. He invented a bunch of them. Wrestling has got Condrey up, right back into that corner. And a cheap shot. Eaton came all the way across the ring and got Mr. Wrestling right in the small of the back.
Well, Jim, Mr. Wrestling may have access to grinding chips on his shoulder, but that was nothing but an accident. No way in the world.
Well, I tell you what, he likes to control things. He wants to control his own destiny. Well, it's all his to control now. And the Midnight Express, they're just as devious and tenacious as ever. He signed the contract, and they're going for him. You know, I'm sitting here with mixed emotions, boy. Mr. Wrestling, you know, you hate the Midnight Express. They're going to take every advantage they can, but he's there by himself. But you can't blame Youngblood at the same time. You can't blame Youngblood.
You was telling about some of the things next week we'll be seeing, Jim Ross. Also, we'll have exciting video of a new tag team who call themselves the Pretty Young Thing.
Wait a minute. Wait. They've got that belt back in there, Boyd.
And they're using it. Using it.
They're calling for the belt. Now this is entirely uncalled for. The Rock and Roll Express, or the Midnight Express, they've got every advantage in the world.
Slashing away at Bob Eaton again with that belt.
Away. Wait a minute.
Sonny King in the ring.
Sonny King's walking tall. Sonny King is taking the belt away from him. They've opened up some old wounds, Sonny King. Sonny King has got the belt. He's got the buckle in. We've got all four of them in there. We've got a pair of six.
As Nature Boy Buddy Landell making his appearance. But the belt's still swinging, Jim.
They're whipping King, and Landell's holding him. Look at Landell coming like a coward. Landell, they're manhandling Ronnie West. Cornette's exerting it all on. Landell came out there when it was all handled. Mr. Wrestling has been knocked to the concrete. Sonny King has come to help, and they're belting him. They're opening up some old wounds that they best leave alone. Here comes Terry Taylor, and here comes Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Our time is just about gone. It's been a wild Pier 6 battle, a back alley brawl as the ring filled up, and you saw what happened. Next week, a new team, the Pretty Young Things on video. Big Ernie Ladd will be here, and another team who simply calls themselves to fantastic. I can't wait. It can't get more exciting than we've seen. Thank you so much for being with us. We look forward to seeing you next week. For Jim Ross, I'm your host, Boyd Pierce, saying goodbye, everybody, from Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.